life would be easy if I could carry a psychology manual with me. Unfortunately, I didn't have one. I'm an introvert. I think deeply, and many of the time, I process everything inside. And sometimes, people misunderstand it. They think I'm distant or maybe arrogant. And in a world, people value extroverts, people who talk, who express. People like them more. And I realized, I noticed my emotion. I felt jealous because in my role, I'm very visible. But it's very different to who I am naturally. So I began to express and learn how to express myself in a different way. In my role as an executive, I don't speak much, but I try to express in a different way. I became a brand presenter, I can pose, and I can just get recognition from my expression. So I began to feel better about myself, and the feeling of jealousy started to fade away. I was born a middle child in a Thai Chinese business family, a big business family, and my parents ran a currency exchange business, super rich Thailand. So from a very young age, I was surrounded by fast-paced energy. Phones ringing, people lining up, counting machines. It was loud, it was intense. And I was always exhausted. And my sister and my brother, they're both talkative. They're very outgoing, very different to me. So pretty much, I spent a lot of time alone, strengthening my introvert side. Until high school, I went to Canada, and I stayed with a host family. Somehow, I landed in Saskatchewan, of all places. And it was a completely different world, and being quiet no longer served me. People asked questions. I had to express, I had to present myself and express my needs. Surprisingly, I kind of liked it. I realized my voice mattered, and I felt a sense of independence, the freedom to make my own choices. After graduation, I came back to the same environment. Unbelievably, I became the same person, as if I had never went away. And as a young woman starting my career, I joined my family's business. In many ways, I became dependent to family structures and to social expectation, especially the quiet rules placed on women. We're expected to be successful and also kind, also loving and strong, but never too strong or too demanding, and never take up too much space. For a long time, I was lost, trying to fit into that box, until I found my mentor and began learning psychology. I started to understand how my system runs and understand myself more. So if you imagine running a business and living in two different worlds. In one world, I'm quiet, and in another world, I'm confident. And through training and practice, I learned to move between the two. So people see two sides of me, an executive and a brand presenter. So I've lived with both until today. And here's what I learned. Your belief creates your reality. If you believe you're not good enough, your mind starts scanning for evidence to prove it and ignores everything else. But if you shift that belief even slightly, Your mind starts scanning for new evidence. Maybe you're capable. Maybe you're enough. So belief isn't just a mindset. It is a perpetual filter. And if you change your filter, the entire world looks different. Running business is the same. If you believe you can, you will find a way. There are many tools, there's help, and there are mentors. You just need to know what you choose and what you need in life, and show up for it. So I showed up every day, every meeting, even on days I didn't feel ready, or even on the days that my part wanted to retreat. And over time, that built confidence. And Super Rich Thailand grew from one location to multiple across Bangkok. My sister and I led the expansion. We introduced technology and we modernized a traditional industry. Then my brother graduated. At the time, there were 14 locations. So we were entrusted part of it to start with. And for the first time, it felt like freedom. Freedom to create something of our own. Then COVID happened. And I suddenly realized why most people don't really want freedom. Because freedom comes with responsibility. It means owning every choice, owning every mistake, every failure. You carry the consequences. And you have to get through it. So it was very overwhelming. I needed help. So I went back to learning. I went back to psychology. And I realized how we tell the story of ourselves shape how we experience them. At the time, there were two stories. The first, everything just went wrong. And this shouldn't happening. And the second, things simply happened. This is the truth. Now what do I do with it? I chose the second, and I asked for help. And with all the help and support I have, I kept going. And I continued. It was difficult. But then that was when I realized how much perspective matters. How you interpret a situation changes your energy, and it changes your decisions. Life is always a choice. But the question is, do you know who makes that choice? Is it your conscious mind or subconscious patterns? Sometimes they fight each other. You want to move forward, but the other part of you were so afraid. And that's when you feel stuck, anxious, or lost. I've been there too. And if you observe enough, maybe you can notice these inner voices that is running in our mind. And maybe you will be able to choose it yourself. So have you ever noticed before you wake up in the morning? One voice says, "Get up, go to work." And the other one says, "5 more minutes." Whose voices is that? Who are you arguing with? And 90% of our thoughts come from the past. But if you want to change your life, you have to create something new. And it's not easy, but it's also your choice to remain the same or to become something more. For me, I've changed many times in my life. And being on the stage, from the person who doesn't really want to speak, and to talk as long as this, honestly, is not easy. I'm still an introvert, and I've done many things far beyond what people expect introverts to do. And if I can do it, I believe you can too. And life is full of ups and downs. Sometimes we cannot choose between what is good and what is bad. Sometimes we have to choose between two difficult choices. And we continue with it. We keep going with it. And if we fail, we try again. If we fail again, we keep going. Because life continues, and failure is not the end. It's just a step towards success. And I want to leave you with one last thought. To be a leader, you don't have to be extraordinary. You can be an ordinary person, doing extraordinary things for the people around you, for your family, for your friends, for your community. Because leadership is not something you are born with. It is a choice you make every single day. Thank you.